You know how I feel about bubble states. Don't use them. There are some times when you just need to use a bubble state. It's the right tool for the job. When you do use a custom state, what's the best practice for using it? A lot of people say that you should put the state on the top of the page or the top of the reusable element. This is a good way to just find it no matter where it is. You know where all the states are, and it forces you to name that state in a way that's descriptive of its purpose because it's pulled out of the context. But of course, that's the disadvantage as well, is it's removed from the context. I actually think there's another major disadvantage to putting it on the page or the reusable itself, which is that if you then copy elements which are using that state and paste them, they're now referring to that same state. And you might want it to create a new state to manage itself. For example, if you have a collapsible element and you copy and paste it, you don't want the second element to be collapsed and expanded when the first one is collapsed and expanded. You want it to be duplicated. Using custom state on the page or reusable can actually cause a portability issue where your elements can't be copied and pasted. There's ways around this. For example, if you're reusing something, you might want to consider making a reusable rather than copying and pasting the same thing. But that's not always the best option. So I actually do like putting the custom state on the topmost group that contains the sort of component or module that I'm working on. However, I will always put in the element's name state in all caps at the end. This does a couple things. One, it makes it visible so you can always find it. Two, it makes it searchable. So when you're in any expression anywhere, when you're pulling up a data source, you need to get to your state and you have to get the element name, type state, and you will find a list of all the states in that reusable or on that page. And yes, if you're using a lot of states, this can be a lot to search through, but remember how I started this video, don't use states. So ideally, there's only a few rare exceptions where you use the state, maybe one for the entire page, maybe 2 or 3 at most, and it's very easy to find it and fill out the information there. Experts are divided on this one, and I'm curious what you think. Is it better to put the state on the page, or is it better to put the state in the top of the module with the all capital state name in the element?